I remember the moment this question first stopped me cold. Not, what time is it? But something far more unsettling. Does time actually exist at all? We live as if it does. We count birthdays, plan futures, regret the past, and feel moments slipping away. Yet the deeper science looks into reality, the less obvious time becomes. What emerges is not a simple answer, but something far more fascinating. Time is not a single thing. It is a layered phenomenon, physical, biological, and psychological, that only fully comes alive when human awareness interacts with change. Time in physics, a dimension, not a flowing substance in everyday life. Time feels like a river carrying us forward. Physics does not describe it that way. In Einstein's relativity, time is a dimension woven together with space into space-time, a four-dimensional framework that organizes events. Within this framework, time is not universal. Rate depends on motion and gravity, different. Observers can measure different durations between the same events. Clock moving near the speed of light ticks more, slowly relative to one at rest. A clock near a massive object ticks more slowly than one far away. These are not illusions. They are fundamental features of reality. From a scientific standpoint, time does not flow independently. It functions as a coordinate, a way to label change. Clocks measure time. They do not create it. We often assume clocks define time. They do not. Clocks measure regular processes, vibrations of atoms, oscillations of crystals, rotations of planets. They count. Repetition. They provide standardized intervals, but they do not explain what time actually is. A clock tells you how long something lasted. It cannot tell you why that duration mattered. Time does not arise from clocks. Clocks arise because humans need a shared way to measure change. The arrow of time. Why it moves in one direction. One of the most obvious features of time is its direction. We remember the past, but not the future. Broken objects do not spontaneously reassemble. Aging moves forward. Physics explains this through entropy, the tendency for disorder to increase. According to the second law of thermodynamics, closed systems naturally move toward more probable, disordered states. This statistical tendency creates the arrow of time. It explains why processes appear irreversible, but entropy explains direction. It does not explain experience. Biological time. How living systems experience change unlike equations. Living organisms experience time internally. Biological. Time involves circadian rhythms regulating sleep and activity, neural processes encoding. Memory, attention systems shaping perceived. Duration. Emotional states altering temporal experience. Moment of fear can feel stretched. A joyful hour can feel brief. Clocks measure identical seconds, but live time varies dramatically. This shows that time is not just external measurement, it is also a biological experience emerging from how living systems process change. The present moment. A construct of the mind. Physics does not privilege a now. In space-time, past, present, and future all exist within the same structure. Yet human experience revolves around the present moment. This now is not a feature of physics, it is a creation of consciousness. The brain continuously integrates sensory information, memory, and anticipation to create a moving window of awareness. That window becomes the present. Without it, we would not experience time as flowing, humans as actuators of time. This is where one of the central insights of humans, actuators of time, becomes most powerful. Human beings do not merely observe time, they instantiate it as meaningful experience. We do this by transforming events into memory, projecting expectations into the future, constructing narratives that link past, present, and future, assigning emotional significance to moments. Without these processes, time would remain a neutral ordering of events. Human awareness gives time texture. It turns duration into meaning. It turns change into story. The many layers of time to understand time fully. It helps to recognize its different dimensions. Physical time orders events in space-time, measured. Time consists of standardized intervals recorded by clocks. Directional. Time arises from entropy and irreversibility. Biological. Time reflects rhythms of living systems. Psychological. Time emerges from perception and memory. Narrative. Time develops through meaning and identity. Each layer is real. None alone explains the whole. Together, they reveal time as a deeply interconnected phenomenon linking physics, life, and consciousness. Why this question matters. Asking whether time exists is not merely philosophical. It reshapes how we see ourselves. It shows that time may not be fundamental. It may emerge from change measurement. Alone cannot capture lived experience human. Awareness plays a central role in shaping temporal meaning. We are not passive passengers moving through time. We are participants in constructing how time is experienced, the deeper insight. So does time actually exist? In physics, it exists as a coordinate describing change. In biology, it exists as rhythms regulating life. In consciousness, it exists as memory, anticipation, and narrative. Time is not a single substance flowing independently. It is a relationship between events and awareness. Clocks record it. Physics describes it. But human beings bring it fully alive. And in that realization lies perhaps the most profound truth. Time is not just something we live within. It is something we continually help create through how we remember, imagine, and act.